VAL Kilmer, the talent, the chameleon, the icon. For decades, he's been the face of charisma and undeniable skill. Fans grew up watching him pilot fighter jets, portray rock legends, and step fearlessly into iconic roles. But behind the confident screen presence, his journey hasn't always been easy. He's faced public backlash, false rumors, and lately something even more personal. A confession, not to Hollywood, but directly to his fans. And what he revealed left many speechless. Join us as we dive into VAL Kilmer's life, his greatest roles, and uncover the emotional message he shared. A promising start and a passion that wouldn't fade. Val Edward Kilmer was born on December 31st, 1959, in Los Angeles, California, into a family that would shape his artistic sensibilities and resilient character. His mother, Gladys Swanette, brought Swedish heritage and a nurturing spirit that encouraged creativity. His father, Eugene Kilmer, was a successful aerospace equipment distributor and real estate developer who provided stability but also set high expectations for achievement. Growing up in the sprawling landscapes of California, Val was surrounded by the entertainment industry's influence, yet his path to stardom wasn't predetermined. As a child, he displayed an insatiable curiosity about storytelling, often creating elaborate scenarios and characters during play. His imagination knew no bounds, and he would spend hours perfecting different voices and mannerisms, unknowingly preparing for his future career. Val's creative spark ignited early and blazed throughout his adolescence. As a teenager, he attended Chatsworth High School alongside future stars Kevin Spacey and Mare Winningham, creating an environment rich with artistic ambition. The school's drama program became his sanctuary, where he could explore the depths of human emotion and expression. Teachers recognized his exceptional talent, noting not just his natural ability, but his dedication to understanding every nuance of performance. But tragedy struck early in Val's life, leaving an indelible mark on his soul. When Val's younger brother Wesley died at just 15 years old in a drowning accident, it shattered the family's foundation. Wesley had been Val's closest companion, sharing dreams and supporting each other's aspirations. The loss was devastating, creating a deep wound that never truly healed. This profound grief pushed Val toward deeper reflection and creativity as he sought to process emotions too complex for words through artistic expression. The tragedy also instilled in Val a profound appreciation for life's fragility and the importance of pursuing one's passions with urgency and authenticity. He began to see acting not just as entertainment, but as a way to explore the human condition and connect with others who had experienced similar pain and loss. After graduating from high school with honors, Kilmer made the bold decision to pursue drama at the prestigious Juilliard School in New York. At just 17 years old, he became the youngest person ever accepted into their highly competitive drama division. The achievement was remarkable, considering the caliber of applicants who vie for those coveted spots each year. At Juilliard, Val immersed himself completely in his craft. The rigorous training pushed him to his limits, forcing him to confront his vulnerabilities and channel them into powerful performances. He studied under master teachers who recognized his unique ability to disappear completely into roles, becoming the characters he portrayed rather than simply playing them. His classmates remember him as intensely focused, often staying late into the night to perfect monologues and scenes. The Juilliard experience was transformative, teaching Val not just technique, but discipline and the importance of continuous growth as an artist. He learned to appreciate the craft's subtleties, how a slight change in posture could convey entirely different emotions, how breathing patterns could affect vocal delivery, and how internal emotional states could manifest physically. After graduating, Val dove straight into theater, impressing audiences and critics alike with his skill and unwavering dedication. His stage performances showcased his incredible range, from classical Shakespeare to contemporary drama. Theater directors praised his preparation methods, noting how he would research characters exhaustively, often spending weeks developing backstories and motivations that weren't even mentioned in the scripts. But as much as Val loved the theater's intimacy and artistic purity, Hollywood beckoned with its promise of reaching larger audiences and tackling diverse roles. The transition from stage to screen required adjusting his techniques, learning to convey the same emotional depth through more subtle expressions that cameras could capture. Soon enough, Val Kilmer answered Hollywood's call, ready to bring his theatrical training to the silver screen. The road to fame, built on humor and charm. Val's film debut came in 1984's quirky comedy, Top Secret, where he showcased not only comedic timing, but also musical talent and undeniable charisma as rock singer Nick Rivers. The film was an absurd parody that required Val to master multiple disciplines: singing, dancing, physical comedy, and dramatic moments, often within the same scene. His performance was a revelation, demonstrating versatility that would become his trademark. The role demanded extensive preparation. Val spent months learning to play guitar convincingly, working with vocal coaches to perfect his singing voice, and studying Elvis Presley's mannerisms to create an authentic rock star character. His commitment to authenticity, even in a comedy, impressed directors and established his reputation as a serious craftsman willing to go to extraordinary lengths for his art. Audiences noticed immediately. Val's natural screen presence was magnetic, drawing viewers into his performances with an effortless charm that couldn't be taught. Hollywood noticed too, recognizing a rare talent capable of carrying films across multiple genres. The young actor quickly found himself on a rising trajectory, with agents and directors eager to work with someone who brought such dedication and range to every project. His next big break came in 1985, playing the brainy and cocky Chris Knight in Real Genius. This role allowed Val to showcase his intellectual side while maintaining the humor that made him so appealing. Chris Knight was a child prodigy attending a prestigious technical university, and Val brought both the character's genius-level intellect and his mischievous spirit to life with remarkable authenticity. Fans loved his unique blend of wit and vulnerability, seeing in Chris Knight a character who was brilliant yet relatable, confident yet dealing with real pressures and expectations. Val's portrayal resonated with audiences who saw themselves in the character's struggles with authority, relationships, and finding purpose beyond academic achievement. The film's success solidified Val's reputation as more than just a pretty face or comedic actor. He had proven he could handle complex characters with depth and nuance, carrying a film while maintaining audience sympathy and engagement throughout. But it was 1986's Top Gun that catapulted him into true stardom and changed his life forever. As Tom "Iceman" Kazansky, opposite Tom Cruise's Pete "Maverick" Mitchell, Val cemented his place as one of Hollywood's most charismatic leading men. His cool demeanor, delivered with perfect timing and conviction, became instantly memorable and quotable. The role of Iceman required Val to embody confidence without arrogance, competitiveness without meanness, and superiority without condescension. His famous delivery of lines like, "I feel the need for speed," became cultural touchstones, repeated by fans worldwide, and cementing his place in cinematic history. The success of Top Gun brought unprecedented fame, but it also introduced new challenges. Suddenly, Val found himself in the spotlight's glare, with every aspect of his personal life scrutinized by media and fans. The pressure was intense, and he began to understand that fame came with costs he hadn't anticipated. Yet rather than being overwhelmed by Hollywood's relentless demands, Val made a conscious choice to approach his career strategically. He chose roles carefully, determined to push his artistic boundaries rather than simply repeating successful formulas. This decision would sometimes put him at odds with studio executives who preferred bankable repetition over artistic risk, but it demonstrated his commitment to growth as an artist. Breakthroughs and setbacks, the price of artistic integrity. By 1991, Val Kilmer had secured his spot among Hollywood's top actors, but he was determined to prove he was more than just an action star or comedic performer. His portrayal of Jim Morrison in Oliver Stone's The Doors became the defining role of this period, stunning critics and audiences alike with its depth and authenticity. Val didn't just play Morrison, he became him, disappearing so completely into the role that even Morrison's former bandmates were amazed by the transformation. The preparation was exhaustive and all-consuming. Val spent a year immersing himself in Morrison's world, studying hours of footage, listening to countless recordings, and working with vocal coaches to master Morrison's distinctive singing style. He learned to play piano and harmonica, studied Morrison's poetry extensively, and even adopted the singer's physical mannerisms and philosophical outlook. VAL's commitment went beyond mere impersonation. He sought to understand Morrison's tortured genius, his artistic vision, and the demons that ultimately destroyed him. The physical transformation was remarkable, but it was VAL's emotional portrayal that truly captured Morrison's enigmatic presence. He conveyed the singer's charisma and stage presence, while also showing his vulnerability, addiction struggles, and growing disconnection from reality. Critics praised him universally, with many considering it one of the finest biographical performances in film history. The role took a personal toll, however. VAL later admitted that channeling Morrison's darkness and self-destructive tendencies affected his own mental state. The experience taught him about the psychological risks actors face when they dive too deeply into troubled characters, a lesson that would influence his approach to future roles. Soon after The Doors, he starred as Doc Holliday in the 1993 Western classic Tombstone. Even among great performances from Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, and other seasoned actors, VAL's Doc stood out as something truly special. His portrayal of the tubercular gunfighter was both tragic and magnetic, bringing complexity to a character who could have been a simple supporting player. VAL's Doc Holliday was educated, witty, and fatalistic, aware that his illness was slowly killing him, yet determined to live authentically until the end. His effortless delivery of the line, "I'm your Huckleberry," remains legendary to this day, but it was the character's depth that made the performance memorable. VAL showed Doc's loyalty to Wyatt Earp, his complicated relationship with his own mortality, and his determination to face death with dignity and style. The Western genre allowed VAL to showcase his range in new ways, demonstrating that he could handle period pieces with the same skill he brought to contemporary roles. His understanding of the American frontier mythos and his ability to make 19th century dialogue sound natural and conversational impressed historians and film critics alike. But not every choice was perfect, and VAL learned hard lessons about the commercial film industry. In 1995, he took on the role of Batman in Batman Forever, stepping into one of cinema's most iconic characters. Though the film was commercially successful, grossing over $300 million worldwide, the experience left VAL deeply unsatisfied. The role lacked the depth he craved as an artist. The character was constrained by commercial considerations, merchandise requirements, and studio demands that prioritize spectacle over character development. VAL later admitted the role felt hollow, leaving him feeling like he was wearing a costume rather than inhabiting a character. More troubling was the realization that success in big-budget franchises often came at the cost of artistic freedom. Studio executives wanted to control every aspect of the character, from dialogue delivery to costume design, leaving little room for the kind of creative exploration that had drawn VAL to acting in the first place. He made the difficult decision to walk away from the franchise despite the enormous financial incentives to continue. This choice surprised many in Hollywood, but it demonstrated VAL's commitment to artistic integrity over financial gain. He was determined to pursue richer, more challenging parts that would allow him to grow as an artist. This decision also contributed to developing rumors about VAL being difficult to work with. Some industry insiders interpreted his artistic standards as arrogance or unprofessionalism, failing to understand that his intensity came from passion for the craft rather than ego or prima donna behavior. VAL's reputation grew complicated during this period. Stories of on-set clashes surfaced, painting him as demanding and hard to please. These rumors often overlooked the context. VAL's frustration usually stemmed from seeing projects compromised by commercial considerations or lack of preparation by other participants. VAL confronted these allegations openly in interviews, admitting that his intense passion for perfection sometimes led to friction with directors, producers, or fellow actors who didn't share his level of commitment. But he always maintained that his focus was about serving the art and the story, not feeding his ego or asserting dominance. This honesty about his working methods was both refreshing and damaging. While some appreciated his candor and dedication, others preferred the industry's typical diplomatic responses that avoided controversy. VAL's refusal to play political games sometimes cost him roles, but it also earned respect from serious filmmakers who valued artistic integrity. A versatile talent driven by authenticity. In the late 1990s, VAL Kilmer continued to pick roles with depth and complexity, often choosing projects that challenged conventional expectations of movie stars. He played Simon Templar in The Saint, 1997, showcasing his versatility by masterfully portraying numerous disguises and identities throughout the film. The role required VAL to essentially play multiple characters within a single performance, each with distinct voices, mannerisms, and backgrounds. His preparation involved studying different accents, learning various skills his character would need, and developing unique physical characteristics for each identity Simon assumed. His portrayal earned him more critical acclaim, proving once again his unique talent for transformation. Critics noted how completely he disappeared into each identity, making audiences believe they were watching different actors rather than one performer playing multiple roles. VAL also impressed audiences and critics in Michael Mann's Heat, 1995, appearing alongside heavyweights Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. In this crime epic, VAL played Chris Shiherlis, a member of De Niro's professional bank robbery crew. His subtle intensity and understated performance added crucial weight to an already stellar ensemble cast. The role required VAL to hold his own against two of cinema's most celebrated actors while maintaining his character's distinct personality and motivations. Chris was the crew's electronics expert, but VAL brought depth to what could have been a purely functional role, showing the character's family relationships, professional pride, and growing awareness of the risks involved in their criminal lifestyle. Mann's meticulous directing style matched VAL's own preparation methods perfectly. The director's attention to detail and insistence on authenticity aligned with VAL's approach to character development, resulting in a performance that felt completely natural within the film's realistic crime world. In 2004, VAL played Philip of Macedonia in Oliver Stone's ambitious historical epic Alexander. Though the film received poor critical reception and disappointing box office results, VAL's performance as Alexander's father was noted as one of the project's stronger elements. Philip of Macedonia was a complex historical figure, a brilliant military strategist and politician whose relationship with his son was complicated by ambition, love, and conflicting visions for their empire's future. VAL brought depth to these contradictions, showing Philip's pride in Alexander's achievements, while also revealing his concerns about his son's increasingly grandiose ambitions. The film's failure dealt another setback to VAL's career momentum, but he refused to let commercial disappointments dictate his artistic choices. Instead, he pushed forward with renewed determination to find projects that would allow him to explore human nature's complexities. He returned to independent films, eager to recapture the artistic integrity that had drawn him to acting originally. These smaller projects offered more creative freedom, but less financial security and public visibility. VAL embraced this trade-off, preferring meaningful work over empty commercial success. His roles became increasingly varied during this period, demonstrating his refusal to be typecast or limited by industry expectations. He voiced Kayet in the 2008 reboot of Knight Rider, bringing his distinctive vocal qualities to the iconic artificial intelligence character. Though the series was short-lived, VAL's performance honored the original while adding new dimensions to the role. In 2003, he delivered a powerful and disturbing performance as Porn King John Holmes in Wonderland. The role required VAL to portray a real person whose life had spiraled into drug addiction, crime, and degradation. His unflinching portrayal showed Holmes's charisma and self-destruction with equal conviction, creating a complex character study that avoided both glamorization and simple condemnation. These diverse roles demonstrated VAL's commitment to challenging himself artistically, even when it meant taking risks that might not pay off commercially. His willingness to explore difficult subject matter and complex characters set him apart from many contemporaries who chose safer, more predictable career paths. Facing battles off-screen, personal struggles, and growth. Behind the spotlight's glamour, VAL's personal life faced significant turmoil and challenges that tested his resilience and character. In 1988, he married actress Joanne Whalley, whom he had met while filming the fantasy adventure Willow. Their relationship began as a passionate romance between two dedicated artists who understood the demands and rewards of their profession. The couple seemed perfectly matched. Both were serious about their craft, both brought intelligence and depth to their work, and both shared a commitment to artistic excellence over commercial considerations. Their wedding was a celebration of love and shared artistic vision, and they appeared to have found the balance between personal happiness and professional success. Joanne and Val had two children together, Mercedes, born in 1991, and Jack, born in 1995. Val embraced fatherhood with the same intensity he brought to his roles, determined to be present and engaged despite the demanding schedule that acting careers required. He often spoke about how becoming a father changed his perspective on life, making him more aware of legacy and the example he set for the next generation. However, the pressures of fame, demanding work schedules, and the entertainment industry's inherent instabilities gradually took their toll on the marriage. Both Val and Joanne were committed to their careers, which often meant long separations during filming. The constant scrutiny from media and public also added stress to their relationship, making private moments increasingly difficult to maintain. By 1996, despite their best efforts to make the marriage work, the couple divorced. The separation was painful for both, but they remained committed to co-parenting their children effectively. Val was determined not to let his career ambitions interfere with his responsibilities as a father, often turning down roles that would require extended time away from Mercedes and Jack. Despite the heartbreak of divorce, Val remained dedicated to his children, ensuring he stayed present and involved in their lives. He attended school events, helped with homework, and made sure they understood both their heritage and their potential. His approach to parenting reflected the same thoughtfulness he brought to his roles. He wanted to understand his children as individuals and support their own dreams and aspirations. The experience of divorce also deepened Val's understanding of human relationships and emotional complexity, insights that enriched his later performances. He began to bring new nuance to roles involving family dynamics, loss, and the challenges of maintaining connections in a world that often pulls people apart. By 2015, Kilmer faced perhaps his greatest personal challenge yet, a battle with throat cancer. The diagnosis was devastating, not just because of the health implications, but because it threatened the voice that had been central to his career and identity as an actor. Initially, Val kept the diagnosis private, dealing with the fear and uncertainty away from public scrutiny. The cancer's location was particularly cruel for someone whose career depended on vocal performance. Val's voice had been one of his most distinctive assets, whether delivering Iceman's cool confidence, Doc Holliday's witty observations, or Jim Morrison's poetic lyrics. The possibility of losing that voice was almost unthinkable. Treatment was grueling and uncertain. Val underwent extensive therapy that was both physically painful and emotionally challenging. The procedures affected his ability to speak clearly, eat normally, and perform the basic activities that most people take for granted. Yet throughout this ordeal, he maintained his determination to continue working and contributing to the artistic community that had been his life's passion. Eventually, Val made the brave decision to reveal his diagnosis publicly, sharing his journey and recovery process with fans and the broader public. This transparency was characteristic of his approach to life. He preferred honesty and authenticity to maintaining comfortable illusions. The illness took a significant toll, severely affecting his iconic voice and limiting his ability to take on traditional acting roles. The physical changes were dramatic and visible, forcing Val to confront not just his mortality, but also the vanity and image concerns that affect everyone, especially those in the entertainment industry. Yet even amidst these physical limitations and uncertainties about his future, Val remained determined to work and create. He began exploring new ways to express his artistry, including visual arts, writing, and different approaches to performance that didn't rely solely on traditional vocal delivery. The power of perseverance and finding new voice. In 2020, Val Kilmer made a remarkable return to acting, appearing in the emotionally charged film Pay Dirt. The project marked a significant milestone in his recovery and demonstrated his commitment to continuing his artistic journey despite physical challenges. Fans and critics praised his bravery in returning to the screen, noting how he had adapted his performance style to accommodate his changed circumstances. The role required Val to work within new limitations while still delivering a compelling performance. He approached this challenge with the same dedication that had characterized his entire career, finding ways to convey emotion and character through subtle physical expressions, gestures, and the vocal capacity he retained. His performance in Pay Dirt was moving not just for what it showed about his resilience, but for how it demonstrated that authentic artistry could transcend physical limitations. Val proved that his essential qualities as an actor, his intelligence, emotional depth, and understanding of human nature, remained intact and powerful. Then came the documentary VAL 2021, perhaps the most revealing and intimate project of his entire career. This deeply personal film was constructed from decades of footage that Kilmer had filmed himself throughout his life and career. The documentary offered an unprecedented glimpse into his struggles, triumphs, and private reflections. What made VAL particularly remarkable was how it revealed Kilmer's lifelong habit of documenting his experiences. From his earliest days as a young actor through his biggest successes and recent health challenges, Val had been recording moments both mundane and significant. This archive provided raw, unfiltered access to his thoughts and experiences over decades. Critics called the documentary raw, profound, and deeply moving. It showed Val not as a distant celebrity, but as a human being dealing with the same fundamental challenges everyone faces: family relationships, career pressures, health concerns, and questions about meaning and purpose. The film revealed Val's artistic process, his relationships with family and colleagues, and his philosophical approach to life's challenges. It demonstrated his intelligence, humor, and resilience, while also showing his vulnerabilities and mistakes. This honesty was both brave and refreshing in an industry often characterized by manufactured images and careful public relations. In the same year, Kilmer reprised his beloved role as Iceman in Top Gun: Maverick. His reunion with Tom Cruise touched millions of viewers worldwide, as audiences saw him navigate personal struggles on screen in ways that mirrored his real-life journey. The performance was a heartfelt tribute to both his enduring impact on popular culture and his resilience in facing life's challenges. The Top Gun: Maverick appearance was particularly poignant because it allowed Val to revisit the role that had made him famous while acknowledging how time and experience had changed both him and his character. Iceman was older, wiser, and dealing with his own health challenges, much like Val himself. The scenes between Cruise and Kilmer were electric with genuine emotion and history. Their characters' friendship reflected the real relationship between the actors, built over decades of shared experiences in Hollywood. The performance demonstrated that great acting could transcend physical limitations when supported by authentic emotion and genuine human connection. Why Val Kilmer embraced authenticity over image. Throughout his career, Val Kilmer consistently chose authenticity over image, even when this choice cost him opportunities or public approval. Whether admitting past mistakes, openly confronting illness, or sharing intimate family moments, he proved himself to be vulnerable and real in ways that many celebrities avoid. This commitment to honesty set him apart in an industry often characterized by careful image management and public relations strategies. While other stars cultivated personas designed to maximize appeal and minimize controversy, Val remained committed to presenting himself as he truly was: complex, passionate, sometimes difficult, but always genuine. He never chased fame purely for fame's sake, understanding that celebrity without substance was ultimately hollow and unsatisfying. Instead, his work was consistently driven by passion, meaning, and truthfulness. This approach sometimes put him at odds with commercial considerations, but it also created a body of work with lasting artistic value. Val's approach to social media exemplified this commitment to authenticity. Unlike many stars who use these platforms primarily for promotion or carefully curated image management, Kilmer embraced social media as a way to connect honestly with fans. He openly discussed his health journey, shared his artwork and poetry, and offered reflections on life, spirituality, and creativity. His social media presence invited followers into his private world with unprecedented openness. He shared paintings, poems, and personal reflections that revealed his inner life and creative process. This transparency was refreshing in an age of manufactured celebrity personalities. He frequently posted about his spiritual journey, discussing how his experiences with illness and recovery had deepened his faith and philosophical understanding. These posts revealed a thoughtful, introspective person grappling with life's biggest questions while maintaining hope and humor. But despite his remarkable candor, Kilmer remained deeply introspective and maintained appropriate personal boundaries. He understood fame's pitfalls and worked to strike a balance between public openness and private depth. This wisdom came from decades of experience with celebrities' benefits and costs. His approach demonstrated that it was possible to be authentic and open while still maintaining dignity and protecting the people and experiences that mattered most. This balance required constant attention and adjustment, but it allowed him to share his journey in ways that inspired and connected with others. Heartfelt Reflections, a letter to fans. Recently, VAL Kilmer released an emotional letter directly to his fans, an unprecedented act that moved millions around the world. The letter was remarkable not just for its content, but for its directness and intimacy. In an industry where communication typically flows through publicists, agents, and media intermediaries, VAL chose to speak directly to the people who had supported his career and artistic journey. In this letter, Kilmer spoke openly, honestly, and without reservation, addressing his struggles with illness, his gratitude for support received, and his enduring hope for the future. The letter revealed the depth of his appreciation for fans who had remained loyal through his career's ups and downs, and his awareness of how their support had sustained him through difficult times. These are his words. "My dear friends, life has handed me many roles. Some I sought, others chose me. But the greatest role of all has been simply living honestly with heart and courage. Cancer has taken my voice, but it will never take my spirit. My art remains my voice now, my children my greatest legacy. Through you, my journey continues. I've learned fame is fleeting, image superficial, but love, authenticity, and connection last forever. Each day now feels like a gift, each interaction precious. Though my physical voice fades, I hope my life's work continues speaking loudly. Chase your passions, love deeply, forgive often, and never let adversity silence your truth. Thank you for standing by me through triumph and sorrow, for believing in my art, my humanity, my struggle. Remember, every life is a masterpiece, even when painted with tears. Keep loving, keep creating, and know you've forever touched my heart." Kilmer's heartfelt letter resonated worldwide, reaching far beyond his traditional fan base to touch anyone who had faced serious challenges or questioned their own worth and purpose. The letter became a powerful reminder of his strength, humility, and unbreakable spirit, qualities that transcended his celebrity status and spoke to universal human experiences. The response to the letter was overwhelming and immediate. Fans shared their own stories of struggle and resilience, creating a community of support that extended VAL's message of hope and authenticity. Many noted how his willingness to be vulnerable gave them permission to acknowledge their own challenges and seek help when needed.